Kanye can eat a dick, fam. I'm gonna tell you, man, this motherfucker right here has the nerve to get on the scene, use black people as his base, stirring us up all in mass numbers by simply creating music that speaks to us, that is about us. And since he looks like us, we follow him. We think this guy right here, he's talking some real shit. I can relate strongly to what he's saying in his music. You know, 3-4 albums in, he's pretty much hitting on every pain that every black person feels in this country. Gets on TV outside of the booth because we loving him for what he's doing in the booth. He gets outside of the booth, gets on TV during one of the biggest tragedies in African American history with Katrina and says how we feel. George Bush don't give a fuck about black people. When he said that shit, man, I felt it in my soul. Now this nigga got the nerve to get on TV and stand next to this motherfucker Donald Trump, who is a white supremacist. This motherfucker is a white. I don't want to hear nothing about him not being a white supremacist from you. I know what the fuck I see. I've been living in this country for years. I know one when I see one. If it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's a motherfucking duck, okay? He's a white supremacist. And you gonna stand across a white supremacist and sit there and tell me or tell the country that this man right here makes you feel like Superman. This man right here is going to free Larry Hoover and just go on to these little wild tangents. You're hitting some points, but look who the fuck you talking to. You looking your oppressor in the eye and telling him you love him. Get the fuck out of here. Look, I hear the points you making, man. I see what you're saying. It's pretty similar to what was going on in the 60s. Not the same, but very similar with how people was feeling about Martin Luther King's way and Malcolm X's way. Okay, Malcolm was pretty much not for fucking around with the government to get anything done. He wanted us to do it ourselves. But, you know, Martin, he felt like in order to create change, you had to talk to the government because they create laws. Now, look, I want you to pay attention to something when he was in that room with Donald Trump. This is something that I noticed, all right? When they had the conversation about stop and frisk, Donald Trump was actually listening to him, okay? He may have been thinking this dude is stupid, he's wild and all that, but the whole thing is he was listening to him. And that's something that I rarely seen with Donald Trump. When he was in the 2016 debates with Hillary Clinton, this guy was basically, he'll listen to like 20 seconds of something that she says and then he makes a facial expression. And one thing I know with me, I know when somebody say something crazy and I make a face, I pretty much have like shut down anything else they're about to say because I'm thinking either this motherfucker's stupid or I'm thinking of my next point, all right? I'm no longer listening to them. And this guy was listening to every fucking thing Kanye was saying. And when the reporter asked him, Donald Trump, how do you feel about stop and frisk now? You know, he said, well, you know, I think it's a good thing. I'm paraphrasing. He think that stop and frisk is a good thing. But then he thinking, I'm opening to new ideas. I'll open up to new ideas about it. Did he do that shit with Hillary Clinton? Hell fuck no. Okay, now look at what happened with his wife when Kim Kardashian came to the White House. Do you think that Chuck Schumer would be able to go into the Oval Office and get Donald Trump to let that lady out of jail? I would bet a paycheck that motherfucker would not let that lady out of jail. It wouldn't have happened. Okay. Her ass would still be locked the fuck up because he would get somebody to give him some type of information to spin it in a way to make it look like this lady deserved to be in there. Okay. Simply for the fact because it's Chuck Schumer. And I don't know if they got to do a dance and show whatever for us on TV, whatever the case may be. The fact is that I know Chuck Schumer wouldn't be able to do that. But Kim Kardashian was able to do that. So what if Kanye could make him do some of the things he was proposing in there? I mean, who knows? You never know. So what's the problem with him giving it a shot? Is it really that much of a big deal? You gonna shut this man out now in the cold? You done fucking with him because he went in there and tried to get something done for us. I don't understand that logic. I know Kanye just said he giving up on politics. Yesterday, he just came out and said that he done with that shit, that he felt like he was being used and he gonna focus more on being creative. So I'm assuming that means that he's just gonna do music now and he's done with politics. So maybe the things that happened with Donald Trump didn't work out so well. I guess we can say at least he tried, or what do you say? That nigga did what? Man, fuck Kanye.